Hey there, Roots of Peacers. I'm Chelsea, this is Luna, and welcome to another practice. Yeah, shake that out, Luna. Today's practice is mindful movements. So we're gonna be moving a lot, but it's gonna be pretty slow unless you wanna make it faster, then you sure can. We're gonna be doing a lot of motion with our breath. So focusing on the breath, the depth, the pace, how you breathe, and then how you move along with that. We'll be doing lots of micro adjustments so that we're really focused on what's going on with the muscles, with the tissues, with the body, so that you're staying down here in the body instead of rattling around up in the old noodle. You won't need any props unless you practice with them regularly. I didn't toss any in today. You'll just need your mat and your beautiful breath. So get ready, get settled, and I will see you on the mat. Hey there, groovy human. As I said, we're gonna do some mindful movements today. Luna's over it already. So we're gonna start standing in mountain pose. And before we start, I do wanna apologize for the heavy contrast in the video. It has been noted that afternoons on a bright sunny day is not the best to film these. So I will take that to note in the future. But I want you to start in mountain pose. And I want you to notice where the body is. And you're probably thinking, well, I'm standing here, like that's where my body is. But we're really gonna focus in on these like minor micro details that are going on, like where your ribs are, what your feet are doing, and things like that. So start in mountain pose, you can close your eyes, palms are forward. You're gonna take a deep breath in to roll the shoulders up and back, dropping them away from the ears and softening them. Take your awareness to your face, soften the face. Allow the jaw to part, and then you're going to bring your awareness to the breath. So you're going to inhale deep through the nose, fill up the belly, and exhale, release through the nose or the mouth. Deep breath in, fill the belly up, and exhale, soften things down. Continue to breathe this way. And notice how slow and deep the breath goes. Imagining the breath flowing down into the body and then moving up and back out as you exhale. Somewhere along the line, we lost how we normally breathe as babies. You see babies and they have those deep, full belly breaths, and then they exhale and you can see the belly fall and push back in. And some of us breathe backwards. So when we breathe in, we suck our belly and we expand our chest out, and then as we exhale, the belly expands and the chest compresses. And so we're actually using like the top third of our lungs, and we want to use all of our lungs. So we want to use all the way down into the belly, and we really want to fill up all the lungs with the breath, so that whatever's sitting down in the lungs in the very bottom 2/3, that we push it back out as we exhale. So keeping this in mind and trying to take this deep belly breath throughout your entire practice today. So your diaphragm shaped like a U. When you inhale, it does that, and then when you exhale, it comes back up. So you want to breathe all the way down into the diaphragm and let it come back where it's supposed to as you exhale. So take one more deep belly breath. And exhale to release. And you should be in mountain pose. This whole time I was moving around a little bit. So you can flutter the eyes open. We're going to inhale to come up to extended mountain. Exhale to drop down, forward fold. Breathe in for your halfway lift. Breathe back out to fold. Come up to extended mountain. Travel the hands down through heart center, carve a line, and come back to mountain pose. Close the eyes. And now take a moment to notice, without opening the eyes, where your ankles are. Are they over, or your knees over your ankles? Excuse me. So notice where your knees are, and then start to zip up as you push your heels down. Four corners of the feet are pushing evenly into the mat. The pads of your big toe and your little toe are pushing in, but you're not squeezing your feet, your toes down. So you're not clenching your toes, it's very different. But you want that weight distributed evenly along the bottoms of your feet in your mountain pose. And now I want you to tuck your pelvis just ever so slightly so you're pulling the belly in, engaging the core, and you'll notice that your ribs shift over the hips as you do that. And so you want everything in a nice tight line all the way up the body. So the pelvis is slightly tucked, it zips up the spine, and then you're gonna lift gently through the crown of the head. And if you have your eyes open so you can see what I'm doing, that's completely fine. I'm just making minor adjustments to the body so you're nice and zipped up. This is what we call good posture, folks. Again, your ears are dropped, or your shoulders are dropped away from your ears. And you're gonna take 2 more deep belly breaths, feeling how the body is right now. Bend the knees as you inhale, swoop up, extended mountain, drop down, forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, come back to the lift, slide the hands up the shins, drop down to fold, 1 more halfway lift, stretch the crown of the head towards the front, peeling the spine so that it's separating, it's lengthening, drop down for your fold, rise for extended mountain. So we're really focusing on the body and taking note of where it is in time and space today, being fully present. Come to your halfway lift, drop down to fold, rise to extended mountain, and sit back for chair. So staying with the breath. In your chair pose, drop the shoulders, sink the tailbone back behind you. Keep the weight even in your feet. And making sure that the feet are hip width apart. Feel what muscles are engaged and see what's activated. So what's activated right now? Your quads, everything from the waist down is activated. So everything from the waist up ideally can come to ease. It can slow down, it can just be here. This is not a comfortable pose to be in. 1 more breath here. Inhale to swoop up to extended. Drop down, forward fold. Halfway lift, straight spine, push the hips back behind you. Drop down, forward fold. And you're gonna step back to high plank. So in your high plank, push the heels back behind you. Feel the calves lift as you do so. And make sure that your shoulders are nice and strong, that you're not dumping down into your arms. So you want a nice straight line in the body. Some people do high plank like this. I mean, if you have to, you have to. But try to drop the hips down, drop the butt down so that you are in a straight line with the body. And hopefully I'm practicing what I'm preaching right now. I can't see, so fingers crossed. We're gonna push up all the way down to the belly. You're gonna tuck the elbows as you do so, and then lift for a cobra, big or small, up to you. Exhale back down, push yourself up and back to your child's pose. And it's just click, 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 and away. You're gonna settle in your child's pose. Staying with the breath and coming back to those deep belly breaths and really trying to make those a force of habit. So as I said, somewhere along the line, we learn to breathe wrong. Some of us breathe really short and shallow, and that can cause anxiety. So make sure that your breath is long and slow. It's easy so that it can reflect that within how you're feeling with your mood. 2 more breaths in your child's pose. You're gonna come to tabletop. So settle in on all fours, and you're gonna start your cat-cows. And you can do this a few ways. You can inhale to come to cow, exhale to round to cat. You can try it the opposite way. So you're inhaling in cat and exhaling in cow. Or you can do your own breath. Just make sure that however you're breathing, the motion is paired with it. So you're inhaling into one pose and exhaling into another, or maybe you're taking an inhale for both and then an exhale for both. But do your thing right now. You've got a little free play time, so if you need to roll around, do those barrel rolls. Wherever you're at, staying with the breath as you go and noticing, listening, where the body needs to move today. So again, mindful movements, we're staying in the body. The head is not in control. The body's doing its thing. Take 2 more rounds of wherever you're going. You're gonna come back to tabletop. Step it back to high plank, back to down dog for you. And here, pedal the heels a little bit, really track this shape that you're in. So take the gaze in between the feet. Make sure you're not pushing out into your elbows, but they're not locked. Shoulders are away from the ears. And you want to try to peel your shoulder blades down away from one another, and you can have a deep bend in your knees like I do. The goal here is to get your spine nice and long and zipped up with the tailbone reaching high. As you breathe in next, you can hop or step your feet to your hands for your forward fold. Come up to a halfway lift. Back down, fold, slide the hands down as you go. Rise to extended mountain. And bring the hands back to heart center.